This precious boy was doing nothing but playing outside, being a kid, riding his bicycle. And that's when he was attacked and killed by 2 dogs several weeks ago. And this little boy and his precious mother need justice, and soon. So on January 13th of this year, 8-year-old Michael Millett was reportedly riding a bike with one friend in his neighborhood. This was in Berry Ridge, which is a gated community, and it's reportedly in Volusia County. He was actually reportedly with one friend, and they were waiting on another friend to join them for the bike ride. Reportedly, these 2 dogs did not belong to that gated community, to any of the house owners in that neighborhood. The boys had never interacted with these dogs prior to the attack. The dogs reportedly approached the boys as they sat by their bicycles in the gated community, and they both began to viciously attack Michael without being provoked in any way. It was said his mother did all she could to help him, but unfortunately it just wasn't enough. She reportedly ran outside, she kicked the dog, she punched the dog, she did whatever she could to protect her son, rightfully so. But unfortunately, it was not enough. Neighbors reportedly called 911 as the dogs continued to attack. It was said one of the callers even told dispatchers she had a gun and asked if she would face repercussions if she had to use it, of course, in order to shoot the dogs. The caller reportedly told the dispatcher that the dogs had Michael pinned to the ground. They were biting him, but he wasn't moving, nor was he responding. According to Michael's mother, their neighborhood was quiet. It's in Volusia County. They had been living there for about 6 years. They never had any problems. They never had even seen the dogs before. However, a few of the other neighbors reportedly had run-ins with the dogs. One of the neighbors, who reportedly lives near the 2 dog owners on Airport Road, told a local news station that as soon as he'd be driving up into his own driveway, you'd hear the dogs start going at it and barking. Sounds like my neighbors, but that's a different story for a different day. He said the dogs would just be going crazy, and he also said in the past that one of the dogs had killed another neighbor's chickens. That neighbor said he didn't know whether or not to get a weapon, because he didn't know if he was going to be attacked by the dogs or not. The dogs were described as a pit bull and a mixed breed. They were later captured by the Volusia County Animal Services, and they were later euthanized, and that was following a mandatory quarantine period. It was said their owners were given a chance to relinquish ownership or to file an appeal, but they never did. I did hear, though, that the dogs' owners did not cooperate with law enforcement at all for a while. And to begin with, they wouldn't immediately release the dogs, allegedly. And, well, if you ask me, that's very telling of their character. If those had been my dogs, I wouldn't have allowed that to happen, number one. But if they had been my dogs, I'd be doing everything I could to help this family and law enforcement. According to Michael's mother, Tiffany, the dogs were taken into animal control custody, and they were held for a total of 17 days, and then they were euthanized. Now, according to the Volusia County Sheriff's Office, investigators collected DNA samples from the dogs. The sheriff claimed that one of the challenges in building a case against the owners is that although residents reported that the dogs frequently got loose, after the attack had happened, no one had ever reported it to Animal Control Services before the attack happened. But I'm about to tell you right here, right now, that should not matter. Not in the slightest. These owners should absolutely be charged. It should be quick and easy, whether they had warnings or calls in the past or not. These dogs literally took a precious, innocent child's life. It shouldn't matter if there were previous reports. Now listen to this. This is what the sheriff said. He said, first, he's working with local legislators to craft a bill that would strengthen or increase the penalties for dog owners if something like this were to happen. But if the dogs in the past had either attacked someone or killed an animal or something, and there was documentation of it, of them being aggressive, then the owners in that case could be charged with a 3rd-degree felony. However, if no documentation existed, it is a 2nd-degree misdemeanor. That's unreal to me. That's not right at all. Where is the justice? The little boy's family has since hired Morgan & Morgan, their attorneys, and that's to help them navigate through this difficult process and to try and get their many questions answered. Another thing I'm hearing and understanding is that another reason it's taken so long for the owners to be charged is because the case had to be transferred from Volusia County because one of the dog's owner's stepmother works in the state attorney's office in DeLand, and that is a conflict of interest, so it had to be moved to another district, reportedly. Let's call the owners out. A woman by the name of Amanda Franco owned the pit bull. A woman by the name of Brandy Hodhill owned the mixed breed. I'm hearing that the 2 of them were a couple and they lived together with their dogs. Reportedly, Michael was such a sweet soul. He was a great kid. He was the youngest of 3 children, and he was a loving brother and son. I spoke to Michael's sweet mother, and she said that her hope now is to share Michael's story, to bring awareness to situations with aggressive dogs, and, well, quite frankly, to bring awareness about terrible dog owners. This story is unbelievably sad, and it should have never happened. If only Amanda and Brandy had been doing their jobs, being responsible dog owners, it wouldn't have happened. Keep your dogs inside or fenced in a backyard or a front yard. I don't care what yard, just keep them fenced in. And guys, another thing with dogs, you just never know when they may snap. Ever. I mean, some dogs will even do it with their owners out of the blue for no reason. You just don't know. We must raise awareness that this can happen and encourage people to be responsible dog owners so that more tragedies like this don't occur. My prayers are with all of Michael's loved ones. I pray they get justice soon. I can't imagine what they're going through. For more content, true crime, because this is a crime, be sure to follow. And if you're on YouTube, make sure to subscribe.